Hello, my soul friends, and welcome to this Tarot Pick-a-Card reading. My name is Emery, and today we are going to find out what's your future. All you need to do to receive this psychic message from the universe is to pick one of these 4 piles in front of you using your intuition. To help you make that decision, there is an interesting picture on each of these piles, and I'm going to show them to you up close. Whatever strikes your fancy, keep that pile in mind. So the first pile is a sea, a beautiful sea scene. The next card, pile 2, is a toad or a frog, but I'm going to call it a toad. And he's a cowboy toad, it looks like. The third pile are some delightful and cheerful balloons. And then your fourth pile is this adorable bear. It looks like he is swimming and hunting fish. So if you need help, you can pause the video and meditate on each of the piles. Whatever seems to stand out most to you in your mind, you are going to go into the video description or the pinned comment, and you are going to click on the link to your reading. You can also scroll along the time bar to the chapter where your reading is located if that's easier. Otherwise, once you know your pile, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, pile 1, my sea pile. Welcome to your tarot reading. We are going to go ahead and get started with 3 cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck to get a general idea about what your future is going to be. So, universe, what is going to be pile 1's general future? What do they need to know? What is important for them to understand? What needs to be known? What would you like pile 1 to know? Okay, your first card is relaxation. So there seems to be some relaxation in your future. The second card is the healing chaos. So it seems like you are definitely going to be having your relaxation after some sort of turbulent period. But that turbulent period is for your benefit. And your third card is going forward. So it seems like what the universe wants you to know that in your future, in particular, in your near future, they want you to know that you are going to be rested. You are going to go through a turbulent period, but this is about setting you up for the next chapter of your life. So that is something you absolutely need to be aware of, pile 1, is that things are going to get easier, but only after a period of trial by fire. And this is all setting you up for something that is going to happen next. But the future, the universe isn't interested in you knowing about this thing, this going forward, this next chapter period. They want you to be aware of this turbulent, healing, relaxation period because it's very important to you creating the eventual future you want for yourself. You need to focus on this period first. So that's going to be what we are going to focus on in your reading today. And we are going to dive into that by using the Fountain Tarot to get some more details. So the first thing I want to know, pile 1, is what is this healing chaos? What is this turbulent period that you are going to have to go through? So, universe, what is this turbulent period? What do you want pile 1 to know? What needs to be known? Okay, your first card here is the 9 of Swords. So there seems to be this desire by the universe to help you overcome some anxiety, to overcome perhaps mental illness, to overcome some sort of trying time or period or some aspect of your life that isn't just challenging on the external things like a difficult environment. It's actually something that is making you feel bad on the inside. And the universe wants you to heal from that. You need to heal from that. You need to reach this relaxation period in order to move on to the next chapter. So there is definitely this sense that the universe needs you to heal as a person. They need you to be in a better mental position. They need you to be happier. Because if you don't overcome those struggles, or if you don't learn how to cope with those struggles, you aren't going to be able to have the life that you deserve. So the next card is the Seven of Wands. So this is a great sign. It does indicate that you are going to have to deal with things in your environment, people, situations that are really going to make things difficult for you, that are going to challenge you, but you are going to end up on a higher ground. You're going to be in a better position. You are going to be able to defend yourself. And I think what the universe wants to do is to build you up, to train you to be that powerful person, to train you to be competent and really willing to take on the things that come your way, because I do think there is this undercurrent in your spread that you are struggling right now. It could be a small thing that really bothers you, or it could be a big thing, but whatever this thing is, it is holding you back. And the universe wants you to be able to stand higher than your struggles. That way you can take on the entire world. So whatever you think is your biggest struggle right now, the universe wants to put you into a position to where that seems smaller or insignificant, and you are able to do even better things. So your future is definitely about preparing you to be a better person than you are now and a more capable person. The next card is the Knight of Wands reversed. So this is a sign that you probably don't feel as passionate about your life as you could. And you, I think, have some pretty good reasons why that is the case. You may have desires, you may have ideas, but you are definitely feeling burnt out or as if you don't have the ability to do things. And because of that, you're not able to go in pursuit of things. You're not able to go on the adventures and quests that would really make your life interesting and compelling to you. Not so much to other people, but to you, because there are things that you want and you aren't able to go forward and achieve because of this anxiety. And the universe wants you to overcome that issue. The universe wants you to be more adventurous. So not only does the universe want you to be strong, the universe wants you to be more curious and willing to go after the things that catch your fancy, to think, wow, that's interesting. I want to go do that, because I think right now you are interested in things, but you're afraid to pursue them. And that is a contrast that you shouldn't have to experience. You should, when you feel inspired by something, actually want to act on that. And I think right now you aren't wanting to act on your desires because you feel as if you won't achieve them. And that is definitely what the universe wants to help you resolve here today, is figuring out how to overcome the 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 valley between wanting and doing. The next tarot card is the Three of Wands. This is a card of expansion. This is also a card of exploration. But with this three here, that is actually a sign that you are going to perhaps get some help. Um, it obviously, the universe would be involved here. This is a Wands card, which is a fire card and a spirituality card. But I also think you are going to perhaps get assistance from the people in your life. And while I think that you may feel as if you're alone sometimes, I do think the universe is going to send someone your way. Now, I do think you are going to be in a position of authority or autonomy in your life, so it's not like someone's going to swoop in and do everything for you, but I do think there are going to be helpers that are coming your way to either make you feel good. Maybe they're going to hype you up. They're going to help affirm you. Um, they might provide tangible assistance. It could also be spirit guides, all those things, all those people that are helping you overcome this inner turmoil. Because while I do think there are things in your environment, things that are external to you, which are threats and challenges, which is true for every person, I think you have this perception that things are worse than they are. And I do think in the past things were pretty bad for you. But now I think a lot of the struggles that you are facing on the inside aren't reflecting the outside. And the universe wants you to recognize that the chaos in your life, you are healing from that and you are improving and you are actually in a better position. But of course, the universe wants you to have a little bit of relaxation first. So even though the universe is pushing you to really improve your life and improve things for yourself, the universe isn't going to push you too far before you're ready. There is definitely going to be a period of rest, a period of recuperation, and a period of healing before you do that. So this is really perhaps um, something that's happening in your mind, something that is about breaking down all the negative thinking patterns you have and feeling more confident and perhaps trying things close to you first, new hobbies, new fun things before you do the big things here, before you do the things that are exciting but also a little bit of a risk. You are definitely in this pattern right now where you are able to be cared for by the universe, to be helped, and to try things out before you try something big. So, a lot of small steps, but these small steps are going to be very encouraging to you. So, what I want to do now is pull some cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck to figure out a little bit about this healing chaos period, what is going to happen, what is on your path ahead. So, universe, what does pile one have to expect on this near future? What is going to be happening? What does pile one need to know about their near future? What does pile one need to know? Okay, your first card is the Bone Collector card. And when I think of Bone Collector, I often think of perhaps skeletons or things along the path that were either dead to you or are dead to others. They're abandoned, and you are going to collect those things. So I really do think along this path, you are going to be reconnected with things that you abandoned, things that you previously thought I can't do that anymore. Past hobbies, past relationships, not just romance. It could be friendships or mentorships, anything like that. But you are going to be collecting things that were previously abandoned and reincorporating them into your life. And by doing that, you are definitely going to have like this amazing collection of really interesting things, but you are also, more importantly, collecting things that you had previously lost confidence in, that because of your mental state, because of your disbelief in yourself, because of your shyness or anxiety, whatever those things are, you let go of, and you didn't actually want to let go of them, but you felt you had to because you didn't have confidence in yourself. You are going to be picking those things back up. So if you feel really upset over something you lost, you are going to get it back. The next card is coming to life. So you are definitely going to be reinvigorated. You are going to have a lot of passion. You are going to be very, very excited. But I also think with this coming to life card, it is a very gradual process. And I think it's going to be something you get to choose. So this whole healing chaos period, it is something that is your own pace. It is going to be something that you decide. So if you want to go through this and it be just like a few weeks to a few months, that's fine. But if you want this to take a few years, or maybe for some of you, like a whole decade or so, that is okay. You can gradually move to this more intense period, and you only have to make that transition when you are ready. So you are able to take things at your own pace, you are able to explore, you are able to satiate your curiosity, and you are just able to really enjoy the experience. So I do think part of the reason why it's going to be at your own pace is because the universe recognizes that you need to be built up before you are pushed out into this next chapter, this really intense quest. And because of that, you are probably going to have a lot more fun. You are going to really just be in this state of relaxation. And it does mean that this period isn't going to be as intense. You probably aren't going to manifest as many big projects, but you are going to be having quite a lot of inner peace, and you're going to be developing really healthy thinking patterns and beliefs about yourself, and that is going to empower you. So, your third card here is the unexpected visitors card. Now, before I did suggest that you are going to get help from people in your environment. You aren't going to have to do this all alone. And I think with this card, it is the universe saying that you are going to get help from people you never expected or places you never expected, but this is mostly going to be people. And because the word visitors are used, it's going to be temporary help, temporary relationships. So think in terms of people you don't know for your entire life, perhaps coworkers, teachers, neighbors, people that you can have meaningful relationships with or connections to, but they're probably not going to be someone who is in your life forever. And these can be really, really important people in your life. I remember hearing once that actually the small talk that you have with people when you go to the store is actually really, really important. It can improve your happiness. It's something you should try within your own interests and limits. But small talk is how we build relationships. It is how we learn more about people, because even the people you care most about, you aren't having deep relationships, deep conversations with them every moment of the day. There is quite a lot of small talk, quite a lot of gossip, quite a lot of talking about pop culture and the weather, and that just helps break down social barriers and helps you to feel at ease with these people. And I definitely think the universe wants you to engage more with casual relationships, even if they aren't going to be people in your life for the next 40 years. They're just going to have a temporary position because you are going to learn things from these people. They might be able to help you with something. They may have an idea, or they may be able to connect you to somebody who will give you opportunities. So definitely be willing to open your door to these visitors in your life, because you are actually going to really like them, or like what they have to do for you. And perhaps you might also be able to help them too. I think that'll be part of your own empowerment, is you are going to see that you can change the world, and you can change the world through the casual relationships you have with somebody. And that could be really, really exciting. I remember last year my mom went to the grocery store, and some random lady just paid for her entire groceries, and that really made my mom feel like there was good people out there in the world, that she lived in a really great community. And it wasn't like my mom was struggling either. This woman just buys groceries for people at the grocery store just randomly and helps them out. And that's something you are going to realize over this healing period, is that there is so much beauty, so much goodness, and you are going to be able to receive and give that to other people. So, what I want to do now is pull two cards from the Soul's Journey Oracle deck to figure out how you are going to grow, how you need to grow in order to proceed, in order to leave this period, in order to go into this next chapter, this going forward. So, universe, what does pile one need to know about growing in their soul? What do they need to know? What does pile one need to know? Okay, your first card here is fear, which is very on the nose with your spread. It has the wisdom message of, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of my love. So when you are experiencing fear, when you are experiencing doubt of your place in the universe, you aren't experiencing love. You are feeling as if you aren't loved, as if you aren't loved by the universe, as if you don't love yourself, as if the people in your life don't love you. And that comes from a sense of insecurity. And so, what the universe wants you to do is to really overcome that sense of dread, that fear that is in the undercurrent of your life. Obviously, you are going to encounter things that are scary in the future. Maybe you see a spider, maybe you go on a Ferris wheel, stuff like that. But what I'm talking here, the dread that I'm talking about, is an overwhelming sense of fear that pervades your life. It may be subtle for some of you and it may be intense for others, but it is holding you back. It is causing you not to have a passion for life. It is causing you to turtle, to hermit away, to isolate yourself, either emotionally or physically, or from the things you want to do. And that is what the universe is going to help you to heal from. They are going to help you to feel braver, more courageous. And that's definitely this healing chaos period. It is about building you up and making you less afraid. So you're probably going to get little side quests or little actions you can take that are going to make you braver. So if someone who is shy, one thing they can do is maybe join an online community to uh, get used to the idea of talking to strangers. Maybe they could say hello to the cashiers, and eventually they build up this ability to talk more and to longer to where they have more meaningful relationships. That's the kind of side quest I'm seeing is you are going to be given these tasks and you're going to be inspired to do them, and it's going to push you to be able to do bigger things in the future. The next card is the Judgment card, and it has the wisdom message of, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So I do think there is this sense in your spread that you are very wrapped up in yourself, that you are very focused on yourself, and obviously you're having struggles, so that makes sense. But I do think this focus on yourself is making you a little bit blind to others. You may not have as much empathy for some of their decisions. You may have empathy for some of their experiences, but not for their judgments they make, for the reasons why they do things. And I think that's because you are actually projecting any negative feelings you're having towards other people. Um, it's probably you're projecting your own feelings. And when you become more confident, when you become more aware and able to act in the way that you deserve to act, you are going to be kinder to other people. You are going to be more sympathetic. And that sympathy is going to help you to relate to them more. You are going to accept them more. Because I do think this judgment is perhaps closing you off from other people. For example, I used to be really judgmental of very extroverted and charismatic people. I thought that they were shallow, and I thought that because I was shy, because I was anxious to be around other people. But as I learned to be more courageous in social settings, I realized that, extroverted people have feelings. They're not always lying. Sometimes they are quite sincere and interested in others. That is kind of what I am seeing in your spread, is that you are going to be more sympathetic to other people once you are raised up, once you are in a better position to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel good about others. So the last thing we are going to do today, pile one, is pull 3 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck to get any last messages the universe has for you about your future, especially your near future. That way you know what to expect and how you might want to manifest things coming your way. So, universe, what do you want pile one to know? What do you want pile one to know? What do you want pile one to know? Okay, your first card is Unfinished Symphony. So this can mean a few things. The first is that one of the things that you're going to be picking up, one of the bones that you're adding to your collection, is going to be something that you left unfinished that you want to finish, and you are going to finish it. But I also do think this is a sign that there is something in your life that you were meant to do and you did not do because you didn't feel good about yourself. So when the universe builds you up, you are going to be empowered to do the thing you were meant to do. This is also a sign, this card, that you aren't going to finish this thing right away. You do have to build yourself up, you do have to heal. And so, whatever this is that you left unfinished, you are going to start working on it at your own pace, but you aren't going to really push, you aren't really going to manifest until you transition to the next chapter of your life after this healing period. So, just be aware of that, pile one. You are going to manifest some things, but you aren't going to manifest powerfully because so much of what is happening is really on the inside. It's emotional, it's about building you up and making you feel good again. The next card is the leg up card, a leg up card. This is about the universe giving you privileges, giving you strengths, giving you things that you didn't have before. And the universe, by doing that, this isn't just an emotional empowering. You are going to be given some sort of talisman or some sort of skill or some sort of assistance that is going to give you an advantage over other people, especially when it comes to this unfinished symphony. So, for example, if someone wanted to be an artist, perhaps their leg up would be being accepted into an art school, getting a really great commission that helps them network with other people, something like that. Something that helps, it's a blessing really. And that blessing just empowers you and supercharges your future and just puts you into a better situation in this next chapter. So, your last card today is the Poised card. This signifies that there's going to be quite a lot of grace. There is going to be quite a lot of skill, precision. You are going to be on a pedestal. You're going to put yourself on a pedestal. You are going to act in the way that you always wanted to act. You are going to have high standards and you are going to meet those standards. And honestly, pile one, you really deserve all of this. I do think that you have been struggling with things and all of these struggles have just been taking a toll on you and you've probably been feeling as if things won't get better, but the universe is saying things are going to get better, and in that period of things getting better, you are going to control the pace, you are going to control what what is done, what you get to do, you're going to have so much choice and autonomy, and that is going to really make you feel like you are on top of the world. So, pile one, if you liked and resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also look into the description and pinned comment of this video for a link to my Ko-Fi if you would like to tip, and to my other socials. Otherwise, pile one, I am so glad that you are with me for this reading. I'm so glad I was able to give you good news, and I can't wait to see you again. Hello, pile two, my toad pile, and welcome to your tarot reading. We are going to go ahead and get started by pulling some cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck to get a general idea about what is going to be in your future. So, universe, what do you want pile two to know about their future? What should they know? What do you want pile two to know? What's important for pile two to know about their future? Okay, your first card is simplicity. So there is going to be this overall sense that there's going to be less complexity, there's going to be less annoying things, less clutter in your future. The next card is delight. So pile two, you are going to really enjoy your future. Things are going to get really amazing. So that simplicity isn't just about getting rid of the clutter, it's also about making the things that remain be higher quality. And then your last card is the freedom card. So you are definitely going to be freed from something that is either causing you harm or making you feel that you are oppressed. And things are just going to be a lot clearer. Your path is going to be clearer. You are just going to feel empowered. You're going to feel that your life is just overall quite good. So these are really great cards, and I'm really glad to see that you have just this delightful, beautiful future ahead of you. So let's go ahead and pull some cards from the Fountain Tarot. That way we get a little bit more details about this delightful future. So, universe, what do you want pile 2 to know about their future? What does pile 2 need to know about their future? Let's get some more details, especially what they're being freed from. Okay, your first card is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of dealing with a struggle or a conflict, and you're very close to victory. So when I am seeing this card, I'm also seeing assistance of you surviving a very difficult battle. And there's still a little bit of things left to do. There's still a war to be won, but you are going to be in a good position even if you feel beaten down. So, what I am seeing here is that when you get your freedom, you're going to feel a little bit tired. You're going to feel a little bit exhausted. And that's really just because you went through a lot. You went through a battle. You're going through a war. And while things aren't settled yet, you are going to succeed. You are going to take on responsibilities. And I do think with freedom comes a lot of responsibilities. With that autonomy, you are going to have to perhaps be more productive. You're going to have to manage yourself more. And this is going to be a very new thing for you. It could be a sign for some of you who pick this pile that you are being self employed, or you're starting your own business, or you work from home, or there's just something to where whatever is oppressing you is completely out of your life and you have control. For most people, that's work, but it could be a relationship. Um, it could be things in the political environment, something like that. But you are definitely going to be freer. And with that freedom is going to come autonomy and responsibilities. So you're going to have to be prepared to do things for yourself that you didn't previously have to do. And with that comes the temptation to do things in a lazy way or to do things in an inefficient way. And I think to start with, you are definitely going to fall victim to that. You are going to not live up to your expectations, but you are going to get better in time. You are going to look into resources, you're going to ask for help, you're going to receive help, and you are going to get better. So while you may feel at first that this freedom wasn't worth it because you have so many new things you have to do, you are going to learn to love that freedom because you are going to learn how to do all of these independent things. So your next card is the World card. This is a very strong sign that there are going to be environmental forces at work in your life. There's going to, a lot of the complexity is coming from your external environment. Things like politics are going to affect you, the economy, perhaps your social network, things like that. And because this card is upright, this is an indication that all of those influences are either going to fade away if they're negative or they're going to turn positive. So, part of the reason why you are going to be free is that external circumstances are going to change for you. They're going to be more favorable for you. Um, and I do think for some of you, this is maybe only one or two people. If you are in a conflict zone, like a war or like a fraught situation economically, this is a sign that things in the world are going to get better. There's going to be a cessation of hostilities, and things are just going to get more positive, and that's going to be why you are free. But for most people, this card is really indicating things of a general nature, like uh, politics, school, work, stuff like that. So things are going to get better in your environment. Things are going to get simpler. Things are going to get clearer. It's just going to be more delightful. Now, the next card is the Magician card. Now, I do think initially you aren't going to be able to manifest as much. And I do think that is because with your freedom, you aren't going to have as many resources. It's just because you were used to depending on other people, and so you were able to use those resources that those other people had or those other situations had. And once you get your freedom, you have to create those resources for yourself, and you're not going to realize all the things that you need to do. So, for example, someone who was an artist for an animation studio probably did not realize how much marketing is involved in publicizing a movie. So when that artist actually starts creating artwork for commissions, they have to learn how to market, and that's probably a skill that they don't have, and they probably have no idea where to look at first, and so they have to really stumble through that. And I sense something similar for you when it comes to that. You don't know what you don't know yet until you are faced with the reality that you have a blind spot there. So you need to be prepared to deal with these blind spots. You need to be prepared to be humbled. You need to be prepared to understand that you aren't an expert in everything. And so you are going to have to learn how to become good, or you're going to have to learn to ask for help in those other things. And when I say ask for help, I'm not saying you are asking to be a dependent. You are still going to be on the top. You are still going to have control and autonomy. You're going to have that freedom. But when you ask for help, you may be contracting help. You may be um, asking for assistance from family members or friends. And it's going to be something you're uncomfortable asking for. It's going to be something you may need to save up money for to get help with, all those sort of things. But once you get comfortable, once you know what you don't know and you work towards resolving that, this Magician card will be upright. You are going to have all the resources you need to succeed. So be aware of that. You are going to get better, but there is going to be an initial frustration. And one thing the universe wants you to know, one thing I'm definitely seeing in your spread, is that when you get your freedom and when things are initially harder, you're going to want to go back to this oppression because it's what you know, because it's what's almost comfortable for you, because you don't have this sense of uncertainty. But that would be the wrong decision. You were oppressed, you were overwhelmed, you were fighting a war and you felt like you were losing. So when you decide to go on your own, when you decide to have more autonomy in your life, it's a different sort of hard, but it's going to be a hard that you are going to revel in, that you are going to benefit from. It's a challenge, it's not a life sentence, so just be aware of that. The last card here is the Queen of Cups reversed. So I do think you are going to be initially emotionally unsettled. So even though your life is going to get better, even though things are going to get simpler for you, even though there's going to be more fun, at the same time, you are going to feel emotionally uneasy. And I do think that comes from freedom. A lot of people, for example, talk about Americans like really caring about their freedom, and they don't understand why they're like that because they don't have as much um, economic security, they don't have as many handouts, I guess you could say. And so they don't understand why Americans, or why people even immigrate to America when they don't have a, a bunch of assistance. And it's the sense that you get to choose your life, that you get to pick what you want to do. And I'm thinking that's what's happening here with you. Um, you're not comfortable yet with making these decisions. You aren't certain that you can succeed, so you're feeling that you made the wrong decision, but that's not the case, pile two. You did make the wrong decision. This autonomy you have, you are going to feel emotionally secure. It's just this initial period of instability, this initial period where you have doubts, and that is the siren song of the oppressor trying to bring you back into the fold, to make you accept being oppressed. But you need to avoid that. You need to realize that the autonomy in your life is meant to improve things. You just have to get used to doing things for yourself. Now, one thing to know is that when you do things for yourself, it is very tempting to do all things for yourself. This is especially true if someone um, starts their own business. They may be tempted to do all the marketing, all the administration, all those sort of things, but that overcomplicates their life. And what they need to do is focus on what they're skilled at, focus on what you're skilled at. So whatever you can ask for help with, whatever you can contract out, you should do that. So let's use a non-business example here. Let's say that you you are no longer married to someone who was abusive, and so now you have to uh, bring in all of the income for the household. You have to do all of the chores, you have to do all of the childcare, and you think it's all on you. But perhaps you could befriend another single parent and you could share childcare duties. You could ask a family member or friend, or perhaps if you earn enough money, you could hire a maid. All these sort of things. Anywhere where you can ask for help or where you can contract help, you should do. You should focus on the things that are most important to you, and anything else that you don't have to do yourself that isn't absolutely necessary, you should let somebody else do. And there is this sense in business where just because you can do something better than your employee doesn't mean that you should do that thing. And the reason why is while you may be really, really good at this one task um, than a new employee would do, what you're really, really good at is what you should be focusing on. And in the case of that single parent, perhaps the thing that they're really, really good at is earning that income or doing a little bit of childcare, but not specializing in it. So they ask for help. They ask for help with the childcare or the cleaning. It's not something that they have to do. Maybe that other parent isn't really good at cooking or cleaning, so on the days that that parent is watching the kids, the house is a little bit messier. But if it frees up time for that person, it's all good in the end. So do what you need to do what you need to specialize in, and let everything else be taken care of by other people at least some of the time. That way things are simpler for you and clearer for you. Now what I want to do is pull some cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck to get an idea about what the future ahead is for you, what your path is going to look like. So universe, what does pile 2 need to know about their path? What does pile 2 need to know about their path? What is on the way? Okay, on the way is a mountain. So you are going to have to climb a mountain. You are going to definitely have to deal with a struggle. And honestly, that really pairs well with the Nine of Cards here. This guy is climbing a pyramid, and it's going to be a really big struggle. So I do sense that you are going to be climbing your own proverbial mountain. You are going to be going uphill, and you're going to just want to fall down and go back to whatever oppression you're facing just because it seems easier. You don't have to make all the decisions. But when you do reach the top of that mountain, it's going to be an oasis. You are going to see the entire world in front of you. Everything is going to be in perspective, and everything is going to be a lot easier from then on. Whatever this mountain is, it's temporary. You are going to overcome it. It is part of your journey to freedom, and you just need to persevere. And this mountain is probably going to be things that you have to learn to do, habits you have to um, adopt. It's probably not literally an actual challenge. It's probably all the little things that you need to learn how to do in order to keep your freedom. So be aware of that. The next card is the One Ring Circus. So this is definitely an autonomy card. This is definitely an indication that you are going to be the center of things. And at times it's even going to be a little bit crazy. And I think you don't focus enough on yourself. You don't see the worth in who you are. You don't see that you individually are amazing. You feel like you have to be a cog in the machine, but you don't. You have so much value, and that value can be something that secures your freedom, perhaps from a business like a boss, perhaps from a relationship, perhaps from environmental conditions that are just driving you crazy. And once you focus on yourself, you are going to be able to make decisions and have a lifestyle that is centered towards what you need and what you can do for the world. So this One Ring Circus isn't just about being free. It's not just about being alone. It is also about sort of being the center of attention, sort of being a spectacle. So when you go on your own, you are also going to command attention. You are going to have authority. You are going to be a shining beacon for others. People are going to see you for who you are, not just what the value that you give, but see you. They're going to recognize you as an individual and see that you are actually quite amazing. And I think in some cases, for some people on the spread, whatever they are being freed from, whatever oppression they're going to be freed from, whoever is that oppressor is going to be like, wow, pile two is actually amazing, and I am jealous or ashamed of how I treated them. That's probably going to be happen for some of you. I hope some of you get apologies, but that may not be the case. Either way, just know that somebody's going to get pie on their face, and it's not going to be you. You are going to be the ringmaster of your life. Now, the next card here is Wizard of Awareness. This is a sign that you are going to be wiser, that you are going to be more aware. So I do think that this clarity that you are going to get, it is a sign that there are things in your life that you don't know about, that you should know about, and you haven't understood because you weren't in a position of freedom. And once you get that freedom, your eyes are going to be open and you are going to be stunned by what you discover. So do expect being very surprised in your future, of having some of your current notions and ideas challenged, but I think that's going to be in a positive way. And once you do have that sense of awareness, once you do have that complete, those blindfolds taken off, you are going to be able to perhaps help other people, perhaps other people in your life do the same. They are going to see things the way that you see them. They are going to ask you for help, and you are going to help other people be freed from that sense of oppression. So what I want to do now is pull two cards from the Soul's Journey Oracle deck to figure out what sort of challenging issues you need to overcome in order to have your freedom. So, universe, what does pile two need to overcome to have the freedom that they deserve? What does pile two need to be freed from? What do you want pile two to be freed from? Okay, your first card here is health with the wisdom message of, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So you're definitely going to be freed from poor health. But in particular, with this card, and because we know you're going to be climbing a mountain, probably a metaphorical mountain, this is a sign that you are going to be taking care of your body and you are going to be dropping some bad health habits. So this could this could perhaps be fitness. Perhaps you take up a a sport or a fitness activity. It could be a healthy diet. For some of you, it could be letting go of stress or anxiety. If you have an untreated condition, physical or mental, you're going to get treatment. But this is definitely a sign, pile two, that you are going to get healthier. And it's going to be part of your journey. I don't think you are going to target it specifically. I think when you become more free, you are going to have this autonomy that's going to encourage you to take ownership of your decisions, and that's going to cause you to make better decisions. So, for example, someone who has a really stressful 9 to 5 job may not eat well, and the reason why they don't eat well is simply because they go from point A to point B and they just try to do things as quickly as possible. But perhaps if you were someone leaving that 9 to 5 and you became self employed or you started your own business, you would prioritize in your schedule making a healthy meal every day, something like that. And it's not something you specifically plan to do as part of your grand life plan, it's just something you start doing because you feel the freedom to do so. This overall sense of oppression that you are experiencing, it is causing you to act in ways that self-sabotage you, that self-sabotage your health, and you are going to overcome that. And that's just going to make your life overall quite better because once your body is healthier, you are going to be able to do things better. You're going to be able to think better. You're going to be able to have better endurance. And it's just going to be an overall improvement for you. The next card is love, with the wisdom message of, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So I do think, pile two, that you may have a negative view, and I think it makes a lot of sense. You are suffering from some sort of oppression, some sort of overwhelming force that is causing you to feel like you aren't free. So you are also feeling as if you aren't free to love. But once you overcome that, once you have love for yourself, once you are able to look at the world with love, you are going to really feel as if the world opens up to you. You are going to feel optimistic. So, this love could be a sign that you enter into an exciting romantic relationship, perhaps one that you previously denied yourself. But this love is a general sense of love. This is a love for life. This is a love for your future. You are going to feel confident that you can have all of those wonderful things, pile two. So, what we are going to do now is we are going to end with 3 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck to get any last messages the universe has for you about your future. So, universe, what does pile 3 need to know about their future? What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? Okay, your first card here is blessed. You are definitely going to be blessed by the universe. This is going to be something not necessarily that you earn, that you do anything for to get. The universe is going to intervene. They are going to do something that makes your life easier, and I think it's going to be what gets you started on your road for freedom. Now, I do think you are going to make a decision to free yourself or to participate in your freedom, but there's definitely going to be something that happens to you in the future, probably the near future, like a few weeks to a few months from now, where you are going to be blessed with an opportunity or a revelation that is going to cause you to make a radical change in your life. For example, someone who is part of an abusive relationship may realize that they could actually leave that person, that they have the resources to leave this person, so they do so. And that is what I am seeing. You are going to be blessed with an opportunity that is going to change your life for the better, that is going to free you, that is going to give you that sense of love. The next card is mending. There is this sense that there is something in your life that is broken or in disrepair, something that you are quite upset about, and the universe is going to help you fix that. Now, for some of you, it could be your mental health, it could be some physical thing in your life, but it could also, because there are two people here, it could be a relationship that you want to be good but isn't, and it's going to be repaired. So it could be a friendship, it could be your relationship to the spiritual world, it could be a romance, it could be a family relationship, but this mending is really going to fix things for you. And obviously, for those of you with environmental stressors, that mending could be like an announcement of peace. It could be a hostile person or economic condition disappears. But there's definitely this mending in your life that brings you closer to something that will improve conditions for you. And your last card today is to the sea. So the sea symbolically is chaos. It is the outer reaches of the known world. And with this to the sea card, it is a sign that you are going to be sent out into the unknown. And that unknown is going to be where you really organize that chaos into something beautiful. So you are going to find that freedom in that chaos. So, for example, someone who leaves their 9 to 5 and starts their own business, they are going to the sea. They are going to a more chaotic environment where things aren't as certain. But where there is uncertainty, there's possibility. There are opportunities because people aren't taking advantage of it because there's that chaos. And you are going to actually thrive in that chaotic environment, in all of those possibilities. You are going to take all of those tools and resources that nobody is using, and you are going to figure out how to use them. You are going to bring forth that magician card that's reversed. You are going to turn it upright. You are going to take all the raw ingredients that are around you and you are going to make something from it. You are going to change things, and things are going to get very, very positive for you, pile two. And I'm really excited for you about that. So, pile two, overall, it looks like your future is one of freedom, one of being freed from oppression, one of getting to make your own decisions and feeling really good about your life. And I'm really happy to see that. If you resonated with this message, pile two, go ahead and like this video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description or pinned comments of this video to leave a tip on my Ko-Fi or check out my other links, and so on. Otherwise, pile two, I am so glad that we were able to do this reading together. I really look forward to your future for you, and I can't wait to see you again. Hello, pile three, my balloon pile. Welcome to your reading. We are going to go ahead and get started by pulling 3 cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck to get a general idea of where your future is going. So, universe, what do you want pile 3 to know about their future? What should pile 3 know? What is important to know? Okay, your first card is security. Your future is going to be a lot safer and a lot more stable and resourceful than you may think it's going to be right now. So things are definitely going to get better. The next card is transformation. This could be a sign that your life itself will transform, but I primarily think this is going to be you transforming into your higher self. The butterfly has spiritual connotations, so I really sense that you are going to transform into a better person, to the better version of yourself. And this is going to greatly contribute to your sense of security, tangibly, emotionally, all of those things. And your third card is abundance, which I'm sure you're glad to see, but probably not surprised considering your first two cards. This is a sign that you are going to be financially and materially comfortable. You aren't going to want or need as much as you do now, and you're going to feel like that's not going to be taken away. You're going to feel like you have a lot of opportunities, options, and variety. So a lot of choices, and I'm really happy to see that for you, pile 3. So what I want to do now is pull 4 cards from the Fountain Tarot to get a little bit more detail about what is going on here, to see if we can coax out a little bit more from the universe. So universe, what is this transformation that is going to help pile 3 get their security and abundance? What transformation is coming towards pile 3? What do they need to know? Okay, your first card is the Hierophant. This could mean a few things. We'll know once we get a few more of the tarot cards, but this is a card of order, an organization or authority, tradition. The next card is the King of Swords. This is a rational, logical person. In a pick a card reading, the king and the knights for me are always other people. So this is an indication that someone is going to come into your life and make things easier for you, help you organize, perhaps be your mentor. Your third card is the Eight of Wands. This is about things happening quickly. This is about passionate, good things happening quickly, but also things falling down all at once. It is a good card, but it can seem like it's not good at first just because there is so much happening. So what I think is going to occur is that right before you get this security and this abundance, so many things are going to happen in your life that you're going to be overwhelmed. But that's just because everything is falling into place for you. And the next card is the Eight of Swords. This is about binding yourself towards something. This is about limiting yourself. But I actually think in your case, this is a good thing. And this may sound strange because of the abundance card, but this security card and this King of Swords and Hierophant card tells me that what you are going to do is you are going to be inspired by this King of Swords person. It could be a man or a woman in your life. It's more likely to be a man, otherwise I would have pulled a more feminine card, but I do think it could be either a man or a woman. And this person is going to be perhaps a boss, somebody in authority, someone you respect. It could be someone you don't know personally and you're just inspired by. But what they are specifically going to inspire you to do is perhaps to be more organized, to be more productive, to be more efficient. And it could be things like productivity or time management and stuff like that, which is why I'm leaning more towards a masculine figure, since generally speaking, all the product, prod, productivity gurus out there are men. That's not all true, but statistically speaking, that's what you're going to be inspired by. But it doesn't have to be in that realm. It could be someone related to your work. It could be someone in your life who just has it all together. And for a lot of people, that can be like a working mother, like a single mother, people who have a lot of responsibilities and they tend to own up to those responsibilities. So a parent is possible. It may not necessarily be your parents. It could be someone you know, like a friend who is a parent, and you're just seeing them really take hold and take on all their responsibilities with grace, and you decide to emulate some of the things they're doing, even if you perhaps don't have kids. You're going to see what they're doing and you're going to be inspired by them. So definitely someone in your life who has responsibilities. Again, it could be a productivity guru, it could be a parent, it could be a boss, it could be someone who is in a higher position than you at work, but definitely somebody who is worthy of your respect, someone who is skilled and competent, and someone who you wish you could be more like. Even if you don't want to be everything like them, you're going to look at some aspect of what they're doing and be like, I want that. I want to be like that. And you're going to organize your life more. You're going to be more efficient. And you are going to willingly bind yourself to responsibilities and methods of living that are going to help secure things for you and are going to give you more abundance. But it's definitely going to happen all at once. So you could have some sort of eureka or come to Jesus moment, essentially, where you realize that things in your life have to change because you aren't happy with the way they are. So perhaps you are confronted with a bad habit, you're confronted with a difficult situation, and instead of seeing that difficulty with despair, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to let this control my life anymore. I am going to control my life. So you are definitely going to be the main character in your life story, and you are going to take control over your life. And I am so happy to see that for you, Pile 3, because it is a great sign that you are going to get so many of the things that you want in life. And you deserve that. And you're especially going to earn it with all of your hard work. So what I want to do now is pull 3 cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck to figure out what is going to happen along your path to stabilize your life. What sort of responsibilities might you take on? All those sort of things. So, universe, what does pile 3 need to know about the road ahead? What does pile 3 need to know about the road ahead? What does pile 3 need to know? Okay, pile 3, your first card is solitude. So one thing I often see when people try to improve their lives is that they kind of go into hermit mode, or they temporarily detach from perhaps their other responsibilities, their social obligations, just to really look within and ask themselves what they need to change, because they are so influenced by the world around them that they don't actually know what they need to do to be happy and to be efficient. And there are a lot of ways people do this. Sometimes they just don't hang out with others for a while. Sometimes they change jobs. There's also something called a dopamine detox, especially if this ends up being productivity for you, where you detach from social media. That way you aren't as influenced by the trends or the addictive behaviors of social media. But you are definitely going to hermit and isolate yourself temporarily. That way you can improve your life. And this is sort of like the hero in an epic quest who goes into the mountains to train. This is what you are doing. Your solitude isn't about being alone. It is about training yourself up to be essentially invincible. And that is definitely what you are going to do. Now, again, this solitude could take many forms. It could be you actually going into a cabin in the woods for like a week and not talking to anybody. It could be just turning down some invitations to go out, but you're still spending time with your family and friends in more intimate situations. You're just not going to parties. And this solitude could just be you doing more solo projects at work, but essentially it is just training. So I want you to think training rather than specifically solitude. Your next card is wide open. So once you have your training period, you are going to open up your life. You are going to try new things. You are going to go on an adventure. And all the things that you encounter may be something that you just do temporarily and then you let go. But the point of trying these new things, of going into the wide open, going into the chaos element of the environment around you, is that it is going to help you to discover what sort of previous perceptions you had about your life that were wrong. And we all have these. You might think that you need to do something specific in your life because everyone is telling you you should do that career or marry that type of person. But once you work on yourself, once you go into solitude and you don't have those outside influences and you're just focusing on yourself, you are going to understand what you truly want. So once you do go back out into the world, once you stop training, you are able to advocate and fight for what is going to be good for you. Now, again, there's a little bit of stumbling here. Not everything you first encounter when you go into that wide open, when you go out of solitude, is going to be something that you permanently incorporate into your life, that you integrate into your daily life, but you are going to find something. Your life is going to be more stable after this open period, but also more abundant. And one thing to know about abundance, it's not mindless abundance, it is relevant abundance. So someone who really values their social life, someone who really values their family and friends, they may not care so much about having a huge house or expansive vacations. They just want an abundance of family and friends. So let's get your third card, Rescue. So this again goes back to this King of Swords person, this hero who is going to rescue you from whatever is challenging you. Now, your challenge may be something small. It could be like a bad habit. It could be something quite severe and something that you wish could change and you have no idea how you're going to escape from. But this King of Swords person is either going to directly intervene in your life or they are going to give you that eureka moment. That eureka moment will probably be if this person just inspires you and they're not directly intervening. So it could be some person in popular media or entertainment that you're inspired by. It could be a friend that you're inspired by who doesn't directly intervene, but you realize something they're doing would be really helpful in your life. But for some of you, this King of Swords is going to be a person who directly rescues you, who takes you out of the belly of the beast and sets you right back on to your life quest. And when that happens, some of you may be a little bit embarrassed, but you need to understand that this person rescued you for a reason, either because they know you very well and they care about you, or because they were inspired by the universe to rescue this stranger or this person that they don't know very well out of the kindness of their heart, and it was meant to be. You are meant to be rescued out of whatever suffering you're experiencing, big or small. That way you can have this stable and abundant life that you deserve. So now what we're going to do, pile 3, is pull 2 cards from the Soul's Journey Lesson Oracle deck to figure out what sort of karmic lessons you need to go through in order to be the best version of yourself. So, universe, what does pile 3 need to learn in order to have their secure and abundant life? What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? Okay, pile 3, your first card is health, which I believe another pile also got, but this has the wisdom message of I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And in your case, I really get the sense that this is about building up your physical strength. There is just this really strong hero's journey in your spread, stronger than the first 2 piles, and it is about building yourself up. So in your training period, you are really going to benefit by taking on some sort of fitness activity. Now, it can be something traditional like weight training or jogging, or it could be something fun like bowling, which I did in high school, or frisbee in your backyard, bong games. The point is that you are getting out, you are exercising, you are making your body stronger, and this strength is going to help you to handle when the fallout happens, when all this momentum happens, because you are definitely going to be very challenged in this period and it is going to really exhaust you. So if you build up your body in this training period, you are going to be able to take this on. And I do get the sense that this fitness thing, yes, you should have some sort of fitness activity that helps you stay healthy, but this is really about a temporary thing. This is about keeping yourself temporarily strong for a very intense moment in your life. So for some of you, you might want to make a game out of this. You might want to say, you know what, I want to build up my body, so I'm going to run a 5K. And perhaps you never want to run a 5K again, but you decide to train for that. So that way you can say you did it, that way you can say that you did that physical quest, and that physical quest to improve your health, even if it's just a temporary one, um, it is going to mirror this other training that you need to do in your life. So it's definitely something you should consider because it's going to help you in other areas. Just remember that unless what you need to be rescued from is specifically bad health, this health thing that you need to do is a side quest that helps amplify your overall quest. It's not something that should be the focus of your life. It is just something that you do on the side to help build you up. So the second card here is the worry card. This has the wisdom message of, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So worry is different from planning. A lot of people think that if you worry, if you think catastrophically, that you are going to improve your future, but that is never the case. And the reason why that is true is because when people worry, they tend to think unproductively about the future. They tend to think in doom. They don't think in ways that will actually help them. This is like a person who thinks that they are never going to succeed in life when they don't go to school, they don't get a good job, they just basically lay there and rot. And what I want you to do is think in an if then scenario. So if you are worried about something, then you need to think immediately that I'm going to do this. So if you are worried about a public speaking presentation, then you could say, if I need to do a presentation, then I am going to practice so many hours before the actual date of the presentation, and make sure it's reasonable. You don't want to spend like 100 hours practicing for an ordinary presentation that just takes 5 minutes. You want your planning, your if-thens to be reasonable. But if you think in the if-then mental algorithm, it'll help you feel as if you have some control. And yes, sometimes you can plan for something and it's not going to work out no matter what you do. But if you assume that right away, you are never going to plan to succeed. You are only going to worry. So think in if then instead of just worrying about the future. It'll really change your life. Now, the last thing we are going to do today, pile 3, is pull 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle to get any last messages the universe has for you about your future. So, universe, what do you want pile 3 to know about their future? What do you want pile 3 to know? What's important for pile 3 to know? Okay, pile 3, your first card is Unfinished Symphony, which again, this is another card from one of the previous piles. So there must be strong Hero's Quest energy when it comes to a lot of the people who are attracted to this reading. And that means, pile 3, that you are a bit of a hero, at least of your own life. But this Unfinished Symphony references something that you were meant to do in life that you haven't accomplished or that you aren't working on. So this could be a project that you can get done in the near future, or it could be like a life purpose, but you haven't been putting in the effort. And what you need to know about this Unfinished Symphony is that it is your life masterpiece. It is something that is very valuable. It is something very desired, and it's something only you can do. There's this creative element, and that creative element represents your own individuality. And of course, this Unfinished Symphony could be something that is literally creative, like a book or a piece of art, but it could also be something that you're driven to do, like fall in love or um, buy a house and refurbish it, something like that. Whatever you feel compelled to do in your life, but you let go of because you didn't think you were good enough or you didn't think you have the resources, the universe is going to put you on track to do that. And you're going to be able to do that because your life is going to be more secure, it's going to be more abundant, and you are going to be more disciplined. So the next time you work towards it, you are going to feel a change. You are going to feel more skilled, and you're going to be very excited to pursue it. The next card is orphaned. So I do think there is this sense with your mentor that they are going to let go of you at some point, that they are going to make you independent. And this could be because they just want to see you fly on your own. They want to see you do what you're capable of. But for some of you, this mentor could be torn away from you unexpectedly, especially if they directly intervened on your behalf. Um, and you are going to wonder what you're going to do. So one thing I want you to know with this mentor, whoever it is, if it's someone you know personally, or if it's someone that you're inspired by and learn from, perhaps from a book or social media, you need to understand that they can't be your sole resource in life. You eventually need to be your resource. So as an example, someone who wants to learn to draw may follow like an artist who does a bunch of tutorials online, and they keep doing the tutorials and they copy that person's artwork because they just see this person as the epitome of everything good in art, but this person ends up never um, developing their own art style. And so orphaning here isn't just something that is sad, it is about putting you independent of this influence that is inspiring you. That way you can take control over your life, because you aren't going to be secure until you feel certain that you can do things on your own. So don't take this orphaning as to be something only to be mourned. It actually represents the next chapter of your life where you are going to be able to be the best version of yourself. The next card is the Come to the Edge card. This could be a sign that you're going to go to the precipice of the abyss, and you're going to look into the abyss and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is dangerous, or oh my goodness, I don't know what to do, I'm taking a huge risk. But there are some flowers here, and when you go to the edge, you are going to be able to see what you're capable of. So although I don't think the universe is making you suffer just to teach you a lesson, I do think the universe is going to use your suffering as an opportunity to improve your destiny in a way that couldn't have been done before. So your current struggles, why I think it is an example of others people's free will, causing an abuse of the universe, causing damage, I do think the universe is going to use your suffering to make it worthwhile, so that way your suffering wasn't for nothing. So everything that you are pained by right now, the universe is going to use to empower you. Your weakness is going to be your strength. So for example, let's use someone who is shy and they were perhaps bullied in school, and they think, how is that ever going to be my strength? And instead, they're going to be able to use that wound to help them empathize with other people who are socially anxious, maybe to advocate for the abused, and this allows them to have a life purpose where they improve people's lives. That is what I am seeing. Something about your weaknesses are going to help you to be a better person. They're going to help you to be more powerful, but they're also going to help you to empower others. So you are going to be a very valuable person. The last card today is chaos and conflict. So chaos at times can be really frustrating and scary, but also in chaos there is opportunity. There is this famous image on the internet that references what old people used to think. When I say old people, I mean ancient people used to think the universe was like, and there's like this barrier between what is known and what isn't known. And in the unknown is the chaos, the seas, the stars, the space, the cosmos, and there's no organization there. There's no order there, but also there is a lot of creativity. There is the options to take all of that raw energy and to make something. And that is what I sense you are going to do. Whatever is the chaos that you find yourself embroiled in, you are going to use that to your advantage. You are going to make something. So that's going to be part of what makes you valuable. You are going to organize. You are going to make things less scary for yourself and for other people. And this goes back to this King of Swords energy. This King of Swords is someone who is able to make the disorderly orderly, able to make the chaos into logic, and you're going to do that in some way. For those of you who may be thinking, oh, this is just productivity, let's say that you have an idea for a book, and this idea is just the perfect symbolism of chaos because it's unformed. It doesn't have structure yet. It doesn't have body. The creative person then takes that idea and they give it a body by writing a book, by creating a piece of art, by making a life. That is what I mean by taking chaos into order and using the raw materials of something to create something beautiful. Your life story is about stabilizing and creating abundance. You are going to really boost what it means to be alive for yourself and other people. So, pile 3, you have an amazing spread. You seem to be a really interesting person who is going to do amazing things. And I really look forward to that for you because you are going to have an exciting life and you're going to enjoy a lot of the twists and turns and you're going to find it meaningful. If you like this reading pile 3, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description and pin comment for links to my socials or to my Ko-Fi if you'd like to tip. Otherwise, pile 3, I am so glad I was able to have you for this reading today so you can get a better idea about your future, and I can't wait to see you again. Hello, pile 4, my bear pile, and welcome to your tarot reading. To go ahead and get started, we are going to pull 3 cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck to get a general idea about what your future has in store for you. So, universe, what do you want pile 4 to know about their future? What are the main themes? What is coming their way? What is important to know? What is significant? Okay, these cards are standing out, and they're exactly 3, which is what I was going for. So your first card is standstill. Something about your future is going to get quieter. It's going to get more potent. It's going to get more dramatic. So you know how in a movie there is sometimes a point where everything quiets, everything gets still, and everything gets emphasized. That is going to be something that happens for you. Something in your future is going to be emphasized. So let's see what that could be. The next card is the voyage. So whatever is going to be emphasized, it is going to represent a journey. Now this could be a physical journey where you go traveling, but it could also be a spiritual journey, especially because we have the whales here and they're flying in the sky. It could be an emotional journey, so a romance, but you are definitely going on some sort of quest or adventure. And then the third card, the third card is adventure. So this is just the universe saying, okay, it's not one journey, it's not one voyage, it's not one adventure. It is actually many. So I think things are going to get simpler for you in that things are going to get more obvious. You are going to know what is the point. You are going to have clarity on what you're meant to do. And when I say clarity, I don't mean to say that you have a revelation where you understand everything, but you are going to know what direction you need to go in, even if that direction is to just go on an adventure to find out more about yourself, but you'll be very certain of that. So you're going to be very certain of the next step that you take. You're going to have some sort of revelation where things become very obvious to you. So this could, I don't know yet, but this could be a sign that this is a specific period in your life. But with adventures, it could reference like a whole lifetime. But we'll find out when I pull the next cards. So I'll pull 4 cards from the Fountain Tarot to figure out what sort of voyage and adventures you are going to be going on. So, universe, what do you want pile 4 to know about these adventures? What do you want pile 4 to know about their adventures? What would you like pile 4 to know? Okay, your first card is the Page of Wands. This is one of the cards where you basically go on an adventure, and it's going to be an adventure in a place that you don't expect. So this is a very strong indication for so many in this pile that you are going to go on a physical adventure, but this could also be spiritual or creative. The point is that you are going to go into some sort of unknown. You're going to really push yourself beyond your current boundaries. The next card is the Sun card, the Sun reversed. And when you see the Sun reversed, it is a sad card, but it's specifically the sad card that's very, very temporary. It is something that can be reversed. And this is perhaps a sign that you go on your voyages and your adventures because you are trying to fix something in your life and you're trying to learn something, you're trying to make yourself happy. For some of you, perhaps you're going to go through some sort of difficult period in your life, so you decide to eat, pray, and love that sadness away. But the point is that you learn more about yourself and you learn what is meaningful to you. The next card is the Knight of Coins reversed. I do think whatever this adventure is, it's not about making money, it's not about work, and you aren't going to be pressured to do it by someone who is just trying to push you to make money. So this is a really strong indication that whatever these adventures are, it's not going to be tied to your work, or if it is tied to your work, it's because you become self-employed or start your own business. But the point is that whatever you are going to go on an adventure of, it's going to be self-directed and it's going to be for either your own personal curiosity because you are seeking love or just because you're seeking adventure. And I do think for some of you, this doesn't indicate that you're going to have a nomadic lifestyle, but it could be a sign that perhaps you prioritize travel in your life. You decide to perhaps go on vacations for a few weeks each year to an exciting foreign location, something like that. And it might cost you a lot of money to go on these travels or to really emphasize whatever is this spiritual journey. So let's actually use something where you aren't going far from home. Let's say someone who gets this pile is someone who is creative and the voyage that they want to go on is writing books. This could be a sign that they lock themselves in their room for a weekend or rent a cabin nearby where they just focus on their book and they just focus on those sort of things. It's a bit of a financial hit. It costs money for them to do, but it is meaningful for them to do. And that is what I am saying. You are going to be willing to spend money to go on these adventures, either far away or close to home, because it gives you something greater than just being wealthier would. The next card is the Emperor reversed. So I am really getting this indication in your spread that there is some sort of oppressive force in your life, some sort of overwhelming person, and because of the Knight of Coins and the Sun reversed and the Emperor reverse card, it could be a boss. It could be some authority figure in your life, one that you know directly, like a parent, a boss, a teacher. It could be your political leader, the situation around you. But the point is that you feel oppressed and you want to feel freedom from that oppression. So these adventures may be about finding your freedom, and you don't know how you're going to find that freedom. This could be someone who is being really pressured by their boss, and they know that their current job is wrong, but they have no idea what other jobs they could do that could provide for their family, and be interesting. So they end up going on these adventures, and it may be exploring different hobbies until they find something that they can make a career out of. But there's definitely this sense that your adventures, these multiple adventures you take, are about finding freedom, they are about finding your autonomy, and they are about getting away from this influence. And again, because this Sun card is a temporary sadness, you are going to overcome whoever this oppressive person or oppressive system is. And it's going to be relatively soon. Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing the Sun card here. You are probably going to free yourself from this either in the next few months or in 2 to 3 years if it's a little bit of a stronger thing. But I do want you to know that this travel lust that you get, this desire to explore, it's probably going to stay with you even when you have more certainty, even when you have this freedom. And that's just going to be an expression of your desire to control your life. So if you are someone who ends up traveling because you want to find a new country to move to because you hate your home country, that doesn't mean that once you immigrate, you never travel again. You're probably going to keep traveling, even though you know you have a new home. So you're going to keep going on adventures, but those future adventures won't have the same high stakes as the one that is immediately in front of you. Once you have your freedom, those adventures are just going to be pure fun for you after that. So what we are going to do now is pull 3 cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck to figure out what sort of challenges or interesting things are going to happen to you along the way to overcome this particular oppressive person. Not your adventures in general, but the upcoming challenge. So, universe, what do you want pile 4 to know about their upcoming challenge? How are they going to overcome that? What do they need to know? What do they need to know? I feel like I need to shuffle one more time. Ooh. The first card popped out, and it is rescue. This is a sign that you are. I don't really get the sense that you are going to be rescued. I think you are going to rescue someone else along the way. I think when you rescue this person or this animal, this situation, you are going to be empowered. And I really got this intuitive download that at least one person, perhaps multiple people in this pile, are going to find an abandoned animal, and taking responsibility for that abandoned animal is going to give you a sense of power, a sense of autonomy that you didn't have before. And I've heard of this happening with a lot of people to where they are depressed, they are upset, they don't know what to do with their life. And once they have someone that is depending on them, perhaps an animal, perhaps a surprise baby, everything in their life comes into perspective and everything's clear. And this adventure to care for this dependent creature or child ends up bringing out the best in them. So you are definitely going to rescue an animal or you're going to have a child, and it is going to change your life. So be open to that. Now, if you don't want to have a pet for the rest of your life, perhaps you encounter a stray dog and you may just be a foster. And that is where you just temporarily take care of the animal until you find it a new home. But the point is that when you take responsibility for this animal or this child, you are going to bring out the best in yourself. And this could also be you taking in a a friend or a family member who is struggling temporarily. You help them get back on their feet. It could be a sign that you join a charity. But the point is that you are going to rescue someone else. And through rescuing someone else or something else, it is going to change your life for the better. The next card is the Dragon's Lair. And I have a feeling that this dragon is going to be this oppressive person. So you are going to go into the Dragon's Lair. And with the Voyages card and the Adventures card, this could be a sign that as much as you want to flee, go on adventures far from whatever this is, what you really need to do is confront whatever is oppressing you. Even if you decide to move away later, essentially, you need to go into the belly of the beast in order to confront them and understand why they don't have power over you, understand why you are either able to defeat them or avoid their control. So let's say, for example, someone in this pile lives in a country and they feel very oppressed by this country. And obviously, the solution is to move away. But moving away doesn't necessarily stop the problem, because often you carry your psychological constructs with you. And so, until this person confronts the reality of this oppressive regime or the way that this political system has influenced them, even if they go to another location, even if they immigrate, they're still going to carry those wounds with them. So this Dragon's Lair could be a physical confrontation, but it could also be a mental one, to where you understand why whoever this Emperor reversed is, why they don't have power over you, why you are able to break yourself free from them. And for some of you, because you have this rescue card, it could indicate that you literally defeat them somehow. Perhaps someone in this pile has an oppressive boss, someone who is making their life terrible, but they are able to get this boss fired or arrested for something terrible they've done. So not only do they rescue themselves, but they rescue their job. Something like that. You are going to confront this beastly person or this beastly system, and you are going to come out victorious. You are going to come out with the treasure. The next card is the Sacred Pool card. This Sacred Pool is going to be like a drink that restores you. It's going to be an interlude in your journeys where you are going to be at peace. And I think this goes back to the standstill card. So that standstill does represent your travels coming into focus, but I also think it represents this Sacred Pool card, to where all of a sudden you stumble onto this clearing and there is this pond, this pool. It could be a literal pond or pool, but it's most likely going to be metaphorical, symbolic, and you are going to be rejuvenated. You are going to drink that nectar and you are going to be restored. So once you drink that nectar and you are restored, you are going to be empowered to go on. This is probably what is going to inspire you to take on this Dragon's Lair. So I do think you are going to be empowered in a way you don't expect, and it's going to be in some sort of quiet moment where all the noise that has been distracting you, it suddenly fades away, and you're almost going to hear that still small voice at the back of your head. It could be your intuition, it could be a realization, it could be a message from your spirit guides, and it's going to tell you what you need to do in order to take on this oppressive person. So what we're going to do now is pull 2 cards from the Soul's Journey lesson cards to figure out what sort of karmic lessons or psychological lessons that you need to process in order to come out victorious in this challenge that's coming ahead of you. And remember, Pile 4, you are going to overcome this challenge. So I don't want you to be scared. You are going to make your life better than it is today. But universe, what does Pile 4 need to know about overcoming karma, overcoming these challenges? What do they need to know? So before I pulled those cards, I just got like this intuitive download about these red eyes, these red eyes in this picture of this monster. There is someone who really does look like a monster in your life, and I know you shouldn't judge people by their appearances, and that is true most of the time, but some people can't hide how evil they are, and they are going to hint at it. And you're going to want to ignore that because you're going to want to be kind and all those things, but sometimes people really do show who they truly are, and you need to listen. You need to pay attention to when they are showing that they are monsters. Don't trust what they say, trust how they appear, what their actions are doing, what sort of real perception that you're getting from them, because that is going to save you a lot of problems from then on. I think this is perhaps what the Emperor Reversed is doing. They are clearly a monster, but they are trying to sweet talk you out of it, and you just need to remember that the beast that you see in them, it is really there. So, your first soul lesson is the grief card with the wisdom message of I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Now, this grief could be about losing something permanently. It could be you recognizing that you lost something and you can never get it back, so you remember it through nostalgia, but this could also be you losing something from this Emperor Reversed and then you fighting for it and you getting it back and you understanding it more the next time. But I'm going to use the immigration example. So, someone who lives in an oppressive country thinks that they can never experience the goodness in their country again. Perhaps they are a refugee and they obviously can't go back home, but they can bring their traditions with them to their new country. They can meet other expats and socialize with them and bring part of their country into their daily lives, into their new country. So even if you lose something completely, perhaps you can give birth to it in another way and enjoy it in a way you weren't able to enjoy it previously. For example, there are some countries where minorities are oppressed and they can't really celebrate their culture out in the open. So once they immigrate to a new country that is more free, they're actually able to celebrate their minority traditions in a way they couldn't in their home country because of political oppression. So understand that even if you actually do lose something completely, you are going to be able to give birth to it again in a new way once you rescue yourself, once you rescue other people, whatever it is, and you are in your better location. So the next card is the adversity card. And this has the wisdom message of I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Now, again, I do like telling people that the universe doesn't make you suffer just because the universe wants to make you suffer. I truly believe that the universe uses the suffering that you coincidentally encounter because things go wrong because of other people's free will, and they decide to help you benefit from that suffering so that way it can be a strength. And so I want you to see that the challenges that you are encountering, what was meant for evil, you are going to turn into good. And so I want you to look at everything that you're suffering not as deserved or fated, but as an opportunity to make your life even better. You see things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise, and you aren't going to be under a delusion. You are going to be fully aware of what you need to be aware of to have the life that you deserve. So, the last thing we're going to do today, pile 4, is pull 3 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck to get any last messages the universe has for you about this temporarily challenging period that is going to improve your life. So, or even what comes after it. Let's leave it up to the universe to tell us what the universe wants us to know about your future. So universe, what do you want pile 4 to know about their future? What do you want pile 4 to know about their future? What should be known? What will be helpful for them to know? Feel like shuffling one more time. Okay, your first card is co-create. I often like to say when you are working with tarot cards, you are co-creating your future with the universe. The universe has a plan, but the universe also recognizes that you have free will and you have ideas, and some of those ideas are actually really, really great. So, with this reading, as with any other tarot or divination reading that you ever get, you should see it as an opportunity to see what is a likely possibility. That way you can either accept or reject that future. So, for example, you are probably going to reject the suffering that the universe is indicating may happen in your future. You are going to look at this reading and think, how can I prevent as much of that difficulty as possible? That way this temporary pain is even more temporary, is even more brief. That is what you need to know when you are trying to co-create your future with the universe, is that anything you learn, you should try to use that information to give you an even better future possibility. So your goal is to make the future that you want for yourself, to not just accept things as they are, but to take that knowledge and use it to your advantage. The next card is the Deep Knowing card. This is a sign that you are going to be very wise from your experiences. You are going to be intuitive, and what you learn is going to help you in other ways. So, whatever you learn from this situation, it's not going to be limited to just this situation. You are going to be armed with knowledge that's going to help you on your future adventures, although hopefully those future adventures are a lot easier than what is coming up for you soon. And you're going to be able to use this knowledge to really improve your life. Like every year can get better, and I know when you're really really young or after you've experienced something that's a struggle, it's hard to believe that your life can get better, especially that it can get better every year. But some people really do experience that. Even though they're getting older and their body is breaking down, they're happier than they ever were when they were young. And that is because they are able to really co create their future. They're able to use their knowledge to live the life that they want to live. And I think that's what you are going to do. You are going to use any knowledge you gain of your experience, of your future, and you are going to make it be more like what you want it to be. The next card is the Orphaned card. So this is definitely a sign that you are, with that grief card, that you are going to have to let go of something. And I do think you are going to turn whatever that grief is into something beautiful, but you do need to be aware, pile four, that you are going to lose something, you are going to feel isolated, and I think it's going to be temporary, but you need to be prepared for that challenge. That way you don't lose yourself into the grief, because you are going to be very tempted to see that adversity and just despair. And I don't want you to despair, pile four, because your life has the potential to be so beautiful. You have the potential to live something that you couldn't even imagine, because the sun the sun card that's reversed here, it's temporary. And I know you're not going to feel that when you face your struggles. That's pretty normal for people to feel like things aren't going to get better, but things are going to get better, and you are going to have a say on how that gets better. Whoever is this oppressive person or force, they don't have ultimate power over you. You are way stronger and more capable than they believe, and even you believe. And once you recognize that, things are going to change in just an amazing way for you, pile four. So, I really hope you resonated with this reading. I hope that you see that your future is exciting and interesting. And if you like this reading, if you resonated with it, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description or pinned comments to see links to my socials or my Ko-Fi to tip if you really appreciate it. Otherwise, pile four, I am so excited to have done this reading for you today. You seem to have just this amazing future, and I can't wait for you to experience that. I hope to see you again.